Okay, good morning everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. And guess what? We're in the last month of the year. Guess what? We're in the last month of the decade. What responsibility do you have to make 2020 your best year ever? What responsibility do you have to make this next decade better than ever? You know, I've thought about that a lot. And here's what I intend to do. You know, I have a process every year, so I'm going to amplify the process. I'm going to ask, how can I make it even better? But one of the things I do at the end of each year is I look back on the previous year. As most of you know, I make a video to myself. I don't look at it except at the end of the year. So I make it on December 31st. I don't look at it again until December 31st of next year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I said last year. Now, the one thing that I know for a fact is that whatever I say that I expect or I hope or I intend never has come completely true. In fact, things that I totally did not expect at all have happened. And then on the same time, some things that are just absolutely wonderful have happened that I did not expect on both sides of the equation. Some are tough, some are great. What is important is the journey. How did I handle those? How did I grow from those? How did I become better? You know, everything that I do, I look through life through the eyes of the quadrants. I've made it easy for myself because I say I want to be fit. And when you think of fit, just like I think of fit, first think of physically fit. But the fit that I'm talking about is what I call S.P.I.C.E fit. It helps me a lot to look at it through this lens. So the S stands for spiritually. Where am I at with regard to my God? And have I improved that relationship over the last decade? So I'm extending my thinking to a full decade. Where have I progressed over the last 10 years? How have I progressed spiritually? How have I advanced or progressed physically, intellectually, culturally, and economically? And let me tell you, a lot can happen in 10 years. I sit back and I started making a list and reviewing, and so much has happened in 10 years. So much growth, so much learning, and so many challenges. But yet, where would I be without those? So I want to look at those so that I can lift where I stand. And where I stand is right here, right now. My vision for the future, my key objective for the future is that everything that I do, I want to be able to look at it through the eyes of, I want to have that peace of mind that comes from the self-assurance of knowing that I'm doing everything that I can do to become the very best that I can become. So I'm going to look at the future through the eyes of S.P.I.C.E. I'm going to break it down by quarters. And in this year, what I'm doing is I'm breaking it down over 10 years, but I'm bringing it all the way back to 365 days. That's my closet that I talked to you about. I have this imaginary closet with 365 imaginary shirts, each representing every single day of 2020. Why am I doing that? Because one of my great strengths is I have a desire to help and to say yes to everything that comes along. One of my great weaknesses is I have a desire to help and say yes to everything that comes along. To do that, I'm going to have to take out a shirt representing a day. If I find a shirt that I like, an opportunity that I like, I've got to look at my calendar and figure out which event I'm pulling out, which shirt am I pulling out of my closet to put one back in. Now this is going to take some work. In fact, I've blocked off 3 days to do this. So I'm really looking forward, and at the end of it, I'll be able to do my video to myself for the next year. I'm going to have it broken down looking out for the next decade. And I know that I won't achieve everything that I have on there, but I do know that I can have the peace of mind of knowing that I am doing everything on the journey, that I'm doing everything to enjoy the journey. So I am going to break it down. If I'm sitting, where have I improved spiritually, physically, intellectually, and culturally and economically over the last 10 years and over this last year? How have I improved? And maybe in some areas it may be tough to figure it out, but my learning will always come through. So where have I learned? And then looking forward into the same way. These then become my key results, and my key results are going to be very specific and very certain. As I move closer to the end of this year, I'll share some of those key results with you to give you an idea of what I'm looking at. But the key results have to be something that's measurable, that I can go after and that I can achieve, and I have to break them down by quarter. So I will have my clear objective, and I'll break each quarter down with the certain key results that'll make it happen. Look, 2020, plenty in 2020. There's plenty in 2020 for all of us. What a great year it can be. But I think December of this year, what we do right now, how we prepare and set our mindset and the determination that we make and the plans that we put in place, that'll make all the difference in the world. What are you doing to make sure that you have plenty of those things that matter most in 2020? Plenty in 20. I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for sharing this time with me. Bye-bye.